Hello everyone, this is Candy the 614 Stitcher, and today is Monday, February the 5th, 2024, and this is my Flosstube episode 112. I would like to say hello and welcome to any and all new subscribers. I hope that you will stick around and let me enable you with a project or two. And to my returning friends and subscribers, I thank you so very much for coming back each and every time that I upload a video. I am in the midst of preparing to go back into the office on tomorrow. That's my life update. I'm still holding strong with the, I feel like you're so far away from me. Let me move this just a little bit. I have still been holding strong on the non-cigarette smoking. It's I wish I could say it's getting better, but I am holding fast to it. And that's about it. The decision was made last year that we would come back into the office as hybrid. So that means that I'll be working Tuesday and Wednesday in the office, and then Monday, Thursday, and Friday will be back at home again. So, you know, it is what it is, and I'm fine with it. I'll, you know, I got a mortgage and a car payment and bills, so you do what you have to do. But other than that, I've had a very good stitchy week. I got to stitch with some friends over Zoom on Friday for the hashtag Bake Me a Quaker Sal, which was really great. That's hosted by EJ of Sunshine Stitchers, and so it was really great to hang out and stitch with everyone on the February portion. And all in all, everything has been going very well. So we're going to jump right into it. I have new starts. I have whips. I have a finish. And I just received a little bit of investments. And I have some stitchy kindness. And then I can let you move on to your next Flosstuber. So the projects that you are seeing, I am going to actually go through my January whips first. I hope I have. I started, so when I came to you last week, I still needed to put in 97 stitches on Nora Corbett Sunflower Fairy, which was my WIPGO for January, chosen by Akio Whips. And here's a picture. Oh, let me show you the I'm like all out of sync. So this is what it looks like. This is actually from a magazine. I do not believe that this has ever been released. It is in a cross-stitching magazine that is no longer published. And so I was gifted the magazine and I have to return it. So I need to get this finished this year. Here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it last week. And here is where it is now. I added a few more of these lighter petals. I was like, what's the name of it? I added a few more of the lighter petals for the 97 stitches. And I ended up getting in 157 more stitches. So there's where we are now for this WIPGO. And I'm really pleased with the progress that I got on it during the month of January. This is stitched on a 28 count old West by Color and Cotton, and I did a Classic Colorworks conversion on it because the original chart calls for sulky, so I did a conversion to Classic Colorworks on it. Actually, Tina Stitches, I will link her channel down below. She helped me with the conversion many, the few years ago that I've been working on this. Okay, I have one more WIP for January, and it is I put some more work into, which I need to put way more work into it. The Bitty Bowl February. And here's a picture of where it was when I showed it last week. And here is where I am now. So I have the bulk of the flower in. I put in all of the other flowers up here, another leaf. I think I put in this E since you've last seen it also. So I need to put in the LOV and then the E, and then there's one little purple flower coming off here and white little flowers coming off here, which I'm really hoping and praying will show up. If they do not show up, then I'm going to make it the purple flower that goes in over here. I'll just make this purple and make these purple because I ended up having to change my fabric due to an error. I am using a Nerge #1 hoop on this. However, in the future, I will probably have to sew scrap fabric around the stamp part of it so that it'll fit in this Nerge. Otherwise, I'll be stitching it in hand. Well, I have some other hoops that I could use also, but anyway, this is being stitched on a 16 count Ada that was in my stash. I believe it is Witchelt 16 count, and I'm using all of the called for DMC fabrics or flosses fabrics. So that's where we are on Bitty Bowl. I will be working on Bitty Bowl. Will be going to work with me tomorrow so that I can work on it while I'm at lunch. Work is going to be a little different for me. So I'll have some work day stitching now. So that is Bitty Bowl February, and that is by Pine Needle Designs, which is by Sandra Workman. I feel like, no, it is by Pine Mountain Designs, which is designed by Sandra Workman. Sorry. So it's Pine Mountains by Sandra Workman. And I would really like to get this done before February is over with. Albert has just been standing around staring off into space even since before I started this video. So I might have to stop and see what's going on with him. So my January in review is I put in 7,176 stitches. I worked on 18 projects. I had 3 new starts and 2 finishes. And my daily average stitch count was 399 stitches. I had some chips. And now they just seem to be coming all out. So, because of WIPGO, and congratulations to the 3 people that won our, the WIPGO winners were called yesterday. So congratulations, and congratulations to Robin and Carolyn for another successful event. Everyone loves WIPGO and ABCingo, and so I'm glad that you all continue to put on that activity. Okay, now we're going to get into February. I had a new start for February. And it's in my little stinker bag, which is a bag that was made by Christine Stitch All the Things when she was making bags. And this new start is a WIPGO project that was chosen by Janelle of Coffee, Wine, and Stitching Time. And I am thankful that she chose this project. It is 3 Little Words by Lizzie Kate. And the title of the chart is Today Choose Joy, which are the 3 little words. So it has 3 little words here. Today Choose Joy. And then Keep It Simple, which are 3 more little words. So each chart has 2 different sayings on it. And these were started back in 2020 when Christine Stitch All the Things was doing a SAL, a 3 little word SAL, because we all needed to have words of affirmation. And so when I showed this in my WIP parade, Janelle was like, I love that, and that's what I want you to stitch on for when WIPGO is called with my number. And it was. And so here is where I have gotten to. I started this yesterday, and I put in Today Chew. I'll be working on this again. I have 700 stitches that I need to put in for my WIPGO projects. This is being stitched on a 28 count Jobelin in the color beige. And I am using the called for DMC flosses. Pardon me. She gives Weeks Dye Works and Classic Color Works over dyed flosses, but I just decided to go with the DMC. All the others are stitched in DMC, and so that's why I was like, I'll just stick with what I was doing. So far, I have put in 144 stitches, I believe. I didn't write it in my notes, but I'm sure it's in my planner because because I count stitches. I put it, yes, it is 144 stitches. I count stitches and I record them so that I'll have my stats. So I put in 144 stitches on this yesterday. And so that is where I am so far on my first WIPGO project for the month. I have not, I'll be showing you my other WIPGO also. So there's that project. Somehow I've lost the pattern. Okay, I'll find it. It's just that for those of you who do not do Flosstube, you know, you don't record a Flosstube. If you do not put your stuff away, like as you're doing it, you will look up and you will just have a complete and utter mess on the table when your stuff will be lost and mixed up. And so I always try to put everything back in the bag, and I don't know what just happened to that pattern, but so that was my new start, and that was for February, and it's my WIPGO. And the WIPGO number for that was number 24. So now we're going to move to my February WIPs, and the first thing I would like to talk about is the magazine monthly cross stitch challenge theme, and it is In the Meadow. And for In the Meadow, for me, is Winter Bluster. I chose Winter Bluster for In the Meadow because all that I kept coming back with was In the Meadow we will build a snowman. And everybody keeps asking me if I'm naming him Parson Brown, and the answer is no, I'm not. In my neighborhood, we wouldn't have a Parson and Brown. But that is what it will look like. This is by Glendon Place. And here's a picture of where it was when I showed it last. And here is where it is now. So as you can see, I filled in all the body of the snowman. I gave him his eyes and his mouth, his 2 buttons. And I came over here on the side and put in the darker under part of the scarf. So the scarf actually comes up and comes around, but it'll be the same shade as this. So when I pick this up again, I'll have his 2 arms to finish off and some more of his, the rest of his scarf. And then the cardinal, I gave him his 2 eye. I gave him his eye. And that is where I am. I put 177 stitches in this. My goal for the month of February on the theme and the acrostic, for the theme it was 150 stitches, and that is because Winter Bluster is on my year of WIPs, which means that I want it finished. So I put 177 stitches in it, but I made the goal 150. So I bypassed the goal. I don't really have, again, too much more to go on this project. I have to finish this part of his scarf, his arms. On this side over here, I need to put Bluster and finish his arms, and it will be completed. He's raking his bowl across the floor, so I'm going to stop the video and be nice to Albert and give him some dinner. I'll be right back. Okay, so that's where I am with Winter Bluster. So not too much more to go on it. If I, can plug it into a couple of more acrostics during this, maybe plug it into March, maybe. But I'm not going to push myself. My next WIP is from our 1 dozen Quaker sow. And we had a Friday night Zoom. It was a great time. It's still not too late to jump in on the 1 dozen Quaker stitch along that EJ is hosting of the Sunshine Stitchers. Here's what most of the, well, here's what the model looks like. And here's a picture of where I was the last time I showed it. Okay, and here is where I am now. So first, let me show you the February portion. So this was December of 2023. This was January. So I needed to finish this portion here for January and some of this portion down here. And now this is February. So what I did was I put in some more of the border up at top. And then I put in this January portion here, the rest of it, and started the February portion. I still need to get the 1/1 in, and I'm not going to keep saying that every time. I'll get it in as I feel comfortable putting it in. Right now, like, that's the least of my concerns, because I still have, you know, like, if I need to, I can do the over 1 stitching anytime. Like in the month of May, the stitching is it looks to be very light. So maybe I'll do some in May. Maybe I'll do some in April. You know, just whenever I can get it done, I'll get it done. So the next thing that I need to do is I need to put in the 12, and that's for the February portion. And I need to start this. I need to start this corner of this big motif here. But what I want to do is completely finish this whole motif so that I know that I'm counting correctly off of one part of it. Since I'm not putting in this motif right here right now, I need to make sure that I'm counting correctly off of something. So when I pick this up again, I want to be able to finish this whole motif here. I am stitching this on a 46 count limited edition, or limited edition by Color and Cotton. And I am using a mix of threads, all different kinds. I have some Weeks Dye Works threads. I have some Almond M&M silk thread. I have a Live and Dye LA, which actually stitches up more blue than purple, even though the floss is a purpley blue. I have Leo and Roxy, which is now called Roxy Co. Company. And I have several Cottage Garden threads. I actually just purchased a couple of more, well, at least one more thread to add into this. And that is another one of the Weeks Dye Works. Because I am going to just be choosing purple threads as I go along. I think even though she has more of a controlled palette on here, I'm going to go with a more organic to me palette. Because I like all different shades of purple, so it doesn't bother me. You know, most people would be like, I would never put those purples together, but to me, it'll be a fun piece to show or to have framed. So that is 1 dozen Quakers. Again, it is not too late to join. EJ hosts a Friday night Zoom on the first Friday of every month. And so please join the Facebook group, the Sunshine Stitchers. That is where she posts the link for the Zoom meetup on the first Friday of the month. And you can participate in that also. Okay. The next WIP that I have to share is the first S in Snowshoes, and it is Shaded Stitchery Data Portrait in 1900. And here is a picture of what that looks like. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it. And here is where I am now. So I added this motif here. I added this motif coming down here, and the beginning of this motif, this is actually the end of the chart right there. I have 1, 2, 3 more colors to put in this motif over here, and then it'll be done. So this is as wide as it'll be, and then I can start going down the page. I am stitching this. This is my first Representation Matters piece, and I am stitching this on a 28 count Color and Cotton spell book, and I am doing a DMC conversion of the flosses. And so that is where I am. I am so pleased that the white is showing up so well on this piece of fabric. And it's looking really good. So this is my first piece. This piece represents data that was collected by W.E.D. Du Bois in the 1900s, and was presented in Paris, of the plight of the African American family in the United States. And it is all of the statistics that he came across for that. So that was the first S. I put in 119. Oh, let me go back. So for the 1 dozen Quakers, I put in 224 stitches. On the Shaded Stitchery Data Portraits in Paris, I put in 119 stitches. And I have 2 more to share. So my next project, which is not in my notes because I worked on it this morning. I wrote my notes yesterday. Let me share with you my next one, the way that I have it written in my notes. So I was able to work on my temperature turtle for January. And that would be this turtle here. Now mine's looks completely different, so because of where I live in the United States. And this is by Stitching Mommy. And here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it last week. And here is where it is now. So I was able to put in the complete I completed the January turtle. The only thing I still need to put in is the back stitching or long stitches to delineate where his shell is or how his shell is broken up. But that is where I am on it now. And this represents the 40 to 43 degrees. We had a lot of 43-degree day, you know, in the 40s. This is this green here, I believe, is 60. This is 50. So we, you know, winter in Ohio is all over the map. The deep purples are 17 degrees. So it just, the temperature varies in the state, or at least in my, area, it varies a lot. I am stitching this on a 32 count. Stitch me in the name of Whimsical. And that is what it will look like. It will not be as big. I will actually have some of this fabric left over, which is great. So there we go with that. And now I'll be getting busy with the February one because I am semi-caught up and I want to stay semi-caught up. I think you won't be seeing it every single week, but maybe every 2 weeks. I'm thinking that what I'll do is well, you might end up seeing it every week. Put the, do the dates for an entire week and then just show it on Sunday or Monday whenever I decide to film my videos. I was trying to figure out a way to be able to just show it or work on it twice a month. But I think for right now, I need to keep the pace that I have with working on it every week. I work on it 1 day a week for the whole week. So that'll be okay. Okay, and my last whip, which I just worked on it this morning, is also my WIPGO project, which was chosen by Athena of Stitching Goddess Designs on Instagram. She's Athena X Stitches on Instagram. But she is on YouTube as Stitching Goddess Designs. We all, you know her and love her. She makes awesome t-shirts, and so she chose for me this month Starlight on Water by Carolyn Manning. And here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here is where I am now. So I was able to put in the first triangle, the first part of this first block. It's so small, it's so tiny on this mock-up. So I am in the corner and I have gotten down to this part here. And that is what this is showing. I am stitching this on a 32 count limited edition by Color and Cotton. And we did a color conversion from DMC to Color and Cotton when we were there in July of last year. And so that's where we are so far. Very pretty teals, and even though I'm a purple person, it does have purple in it. I decided to stick with this color palette rather than switching it all up into all purples. I am a bright color person. So whatever the color may be. Purple happens to be my favorite color, but I like bright colors. And so here is the color palette that it was changed over to. Can you see that? Yes, this is a very dark purple. So this is the color palette that we ended up changing it. I mean, we basically matched back to the DMC colors. So there's where that is. And I need to pull these two purples and pull Wisteria and Under Your Spell to add to 1 dozen Quaker. So that's where I am with that. I added I didn't even put it in here. I added probably 60 stitches or so this morning to it. Yeah, I'll have to count it. That means I need to leave this out, because I probably will not get back to it today. By the time I upload, edit, upload, and all of that, it'll be time for me to start getting ready for work tomorrow. It'll be really different. I'm not a roll out of bed anyway kind of person, roll out of bed and start working, but it'll be different because I'll have to change what I'm doing. Anyway, so that is my second WIPGO call, which was by Athena. It is Starlight on Water, and it's number 3. And it is Carolyn Manning. And for this month, I will be working on Manning Mondays. I'll be working my WIPGO project on Mondays to coincide with the Carolyn Manning Monday stitch along that other people are doing. Starlight on Water. I'm adding it to my notes because I stitched on it this morning and went right straight. You know, I stopped stitching on it and then went to work. And now for my finish, I am participating in the hashtag 12 in 24 ornament stitch along. And I finished my second ornament. It was a salve, and it is Snowman, or Pocket Round Snowman by Heart and Hand. I stitched this on a 16 count, a 16 count gray Witch Elk Ada. It's probably Graceful Gray. I added the little button. I did make one color change, and that is to the scarf. I decided to use purple, and that is Argyle Socks by Classic Colorworks. It's one of my favorite scarf colors because it looks like a scarf to me. So there is my finish. And I will be posting this to the hashtag. Okay. That is the second finish that I've had, Christmas ornaments. So I'm doing really good with the Christmas ornaments. I'll be pulling out a couple of more Christmas ornaments, one for March also. So I'm doing pretty good with that. So now we're going to go ahead and get into my plans for the rest of this week. I will be pulling out Purple Rain at some point this week to put in at least 200 stitches. I will also be pulling out Bella Butterfly, which is a Nora Corbett, and that is the Inn in Snowshoes. the next the next project I'll be working on is I'm going to get back to my WIPGO projects and add some more stitches into it. And then on Saturday, February the 10th, is the Chinese lunar Chinese New Year. And this year, of course, as everybody has been talking about, it is the year of the dragon. So a lot of everyone will be starting a dragon project on February the 10th. I did hear that there was a sale going on for it, and I think it is, let me not say what I think it is. There's a hashtag that is going around, so you can look on Instagram and see if you can find the hashtag. It has something to do with Year of the Dragon SAL, I believe is what it actually is. And I have two. So let me show you what mines are. I have two dragon patterns that I'm actually going to start. One of them I'm hoping will be fairly quick. The other one may not be, but I would like to get it done by within the lunar year. So by next February the 10th, I would like to get my warrior dragon completed. So this is Warrior Dragon. It is by Firewing Designs, and I have chosen my fabric. I will be stitching this on an 18 count gray blue, and I am using it is called Classic Colorworks Anti-D for my floss. It is a purple and blue variegated floss. It is what the model, this model, so I have the 4-pack, and one of the dragons on her site is stitched in Anti-D. And so I decided to stitch Warrior in this purple and blue Anti-D floss on this gray fabric. So that is my first dragon. And then my second dragon was actually a birthday gift, and I still need to pull fabric and threads for it. It is called Snack. And if you have read the Iron Flame series, you will know what this quote is. It is, we do not eat our allies, find another snack. And that is what Taryn told Andarna when she woke up. And so those will be started on the 10th. I believe for the snack project, I'll just be using 310, but I need to find a fabulous fabric for it, because it needs, you know, to me, if you're doing a monochrome project, you need to have, this is just my opinion, if you're doing a monochrome project, I believe that the fabric should be phenomenal. So I'll be looking for a very predominant, bold, in-your-face fabric to do that, all that 310 stitching on. So those are my plans so far. I wanted to talk to you also before I got into my investments. I know a lot of people are doing a leap day sale, and they are using a long dog sampler. However, I am not doing a long dog sampler for my leap day sale. What I will be working on is called I actually have two things I'm going to work on. One of them is a Lizzie Kate, and it is called the Boo Club. Now, I don't stitch Halloween, but this, and I mean that, I don't stitch Halloween. This frog does not represent Halloween to me. It just says Eek, and it has, but I guess you could be, you know, I don't know. It's in a Halloween magazine, a Halloween chart. It actually has the buttons that go along with it, but the frog doesn't use the buttons. It's creepy. Yeah, well, maybe the frog does use the buttons. I take that back. The buttons are used in the frog's eyes. So I'm going to stitch this frog for Leap Day. Get it, frog, Leap Day? Thank you, Carolyn, for the suggestion. Because I know me well enough to know I have enough big projects. I don't need to start a long dog. Although I would love to start a long dog. But realistically, I don't need to do that. But what I am going to stitch is called A Stitcher's Wish. And it is by Stitchy Pros, which is Holly Freeman. And I purchased this at a retreat in Miami last year. And it says, Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might cross all of my X's right, so I don't have to frog tonight. And so this will be my Leap Day start. And, you know, with the Leap Day start, you have 4 years to get it complete. So here's hoping I don't need 4 years, but if I need 4 years, I have 4 years. So I will be looking for, the called for fabric is a 32 count Salt Bush by Fox and Rabbit, which I don't have that. I do have 32 count, and she made this so that it will fit in an 8 by 11 frame. So, and I have the, it calls for DMC, Gentle Art Threads, and Weeks Dye Works. And there are a couple of specialty stitches. So, unfortunately, I won't be able to start this before the UR special event pops up. Excuse me, but I will be able to do it at some point. I mean, I'll be able to do it maybe next year on them. And then I also have the cute little needle minder that goes with it. So I'll be choosing fabric. You'll see this later on in the month as a new start. And I'll be choosing fabric for it and the Eek. I'm not sure that I'm going to put the word Eek, or if I'm just going to do the frog as a little miniature, tiny. The called for fabric for it is a 30 count mocha linen. So maybe if I did it on 28 count, it wouldn't be very big at all. It doesn't tell me what the size is. Oh, yes, it does. It says it's 5 by 2.5. So it'll be super tiny. No matter what count I do it on, it'll be super tiny. So I just need to find a great fabric for all that green stitching. So those are my future plans. And so now let me share with you some stitchy kindness that I received. One of my viewers, Linda F., saw this bag and she purchased it for me. Isn't that beautiful? And she also sent Albert, she sent this beautiful card, which I want to learn how to make this. I've seen videos on how to make these little stars. And she sent Albert a bandana. So Linda, is as soon as I can get a picture of him with the bandana on, I will post it to social media and have it on my Flosstube. I haven't been able to get it on him yet and get a picture. But as soon as I do, I will be letting you know about it. And thank you for your donation to the shelters. She makes these little bandanas for dogs at her local shelter and donates them. And that is a super great gift. So the next, I've received my Floss Frenzy by the Fat Quarter Shop, and it is corn silk, cranberry ice, crepe myrtle, crimson, curry, and cypress. And that is what those look like. I'm not going to take them out. They are in the midst of doing the alphabetical floss, and so I'm really enjoying it. I have been organizing my overdyed floss and having it come in already alphabetized has really been a big help for me. So as you can see, I'm also organizing my fabric. When I get some more of the bags in, I'll share them with you, because I ordered some more of these bags, but I haven't gotten them yet. And the last thing that I placed an order with Coloring Cotton, because I needed some more rustic black for my black butterfly sampler. I've already gotten, 2 other people have already told me that they are going to be choosing that for their, well, if I remember correctly, maybe it's just one other person. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That they will be they'll be using that also for their WIPGO project. Like, it just went right straight out of my head. So I needed to make sure that I picked up some more floss for it. And but I also purchased some additional flosses because of the purple. I needed another purple, so I picked up Masquerade. I picked up Sea Urchin. Yosemite, because I'm always looking for a good gray. Rustic Black. I picked up 2 more of those for Black Butterfly Sampler. So I need to leave these out so I can put them right in there. And then I picked up a Featherweight, which is also a black. So that is where I am now with all of my investments. I had one more birthday card from my dear friend Janet Jabber, and she made me this birthday card. It's got purple balloons all over it, and it has a sweet note in it. I love and appreciate you so much, Janet. You know that. So thank you so very much. She made cute little balloons. She's trying a new hobby, and it is painting, watercolor painting. So she made me some watercolor balloons. And that is all that I have for this week. You know, again, I always think that it's not going to be very long, and it ends up being longer than what I have anticipated. And so I appreciate you all that have chimed in and are still sending me supportive messages and cheering me on through my endeavor with a healthier lifestyle. And I appreciate it. I know it's for the best. I do. I know it's for the best. And I know sooner or later it'll be something that I probably will just have a passing thought about, and it'll go on. But, you know, I hope that you all, I have noticed that there have not been very many snowstorms, so I'm hoping that you all are able to enjoy some good sunshine. The sun has been shining here a lot, which is really good for my mental health. So I hope that you are able to get out. I'm going to try a new habit, and with me going back to work 2 days a week, it should work out well. I want to start back walking again, especially since I don't want to gain, you know, they say the gaining of the weight when you quit smoking is a thing, and I do not need to gain any more weight. So I'm going to try to start walking again. I'm not going to try. I'm going to start walking again so that I can keep my weight in a decent range, I guess is what I want to say. I hope you all are able to get in lots of stitching, and that you are looking forward to the days of stitching that you can get in. I appreciate you all, and I hope you all have a very good week. Talk to you soon. Bye.